Two New Zealand bank accounts receive the same government payment on Tuesday morning. One belongs to a woman who owns her home outright. The other belongs to a man renting a small unit. Their New Zealand super payments are equal. Their retirements are not. New Zealand super protects income in old age. It cannot remove a weekly rent bill. That difference explains much of New Zealand's hidden poverty among older people. In 2026, the first Older Persons Poverty Monitor made that gap visible. Nearly 170,000 older people had delayed medical or dental care. Cost was the reason. Almost 150,000 lived in accommodation they did not own. 25,000 lacked basics such as healthy food or adequate clothing. These figures challenge a comfortable national picture. The usual picture shows a mortgage-free couple, a garden, and steady pension payments. For many people, that picture remains true. It also hides the rule underneath New Zealand's retirement system. The pension works very differently when housing costs continue after 65. New Zealand super is deliberately simple. People can qualify from 65 after meeting residence rules. Their former salary does not decide the payment. Their savings and house value do not remove it. They can keep working and still receive it. That broad design has real strength. It is easy to understand and relatively cheap to administer. It also avoids punishing people for saving before retirement. However, a flat payment meets households with very different fixed costs. Imagine two weekly budgets beside each other. The homeowner begins with rates, insurance, repairs, power, and food. Those costs can still hurt. The renter begins with rent before almost everything else. Rent usually continues for every remaining week of that person's life. Housing therefore acts like an invisible second pension. Owning a suitable home does not create cash each Tuesday. It removes a large payment from the other side of the page. The country once built retirement policy around that quiet advantage. The Retirement Commission calls it the golden assumption. Most people were expected to reach retirement with a mortgage-free home. That assumption has weakened. Older home ownership still looks high in national averages. Yet mortgage-free ownership fell from 83% during the 1990s. It reached about 71% in recent years. Around 13% of older adults still had a mortgage, a similar share rented. The next generation carries an even clearer warning. Among people aged 45 to 64, renting has more than doubled. It rose from 10% during the 1990s. It later reached 23%. Mortgage-free ownership in that group fell from 60% to 32%. This is not only a future problem. The 2023 census found more than 109,000 older renters. Almost 3/4 rented from a private landlord. Private rent usually moves with the housing market. New Zealand super moves under government settings. Those two lines do not promise to rise together. Look at households with low incomes. For private renters, housing pressure has become severe. In 2024, 68% spent over 40% of income on housing. That rate was 51% in 2009. The same threshold matters because little remains after housing takes that share. Food becomes adjustable, heating becomes adjustable, a dental appointment becomes adjustable, rent does not. Material hardship data shows the result more sharply. Among mortgage-free homeowners over 65, the near hardship rate was about 3%. For private renters receiving housing support, it was 31%. For older people in social housing, it was 36%. The pension did not suddenly become less generous for renters. The costs around it became heavier. That distinction matters when people debate whether older New Zealanders are doing well. Both statements can be true. Many older homeowners have security and modest weekly costs. Many older renters face poverty despite receiving the same public pension. An average combines them and smooths away the danger. The new poverty monitor tries to stop that smoothing. It looks beyond income alone. Its proposed picture includes material hardship, housing stability, health access, and social inclusion. That is important because poverty can arrive as a chain. A rent increase removes the dental visit. Untreated pain changes what someone can eat. Poor health makes social contact harder. Isolation then makes every practical problem more difficult. No single income number fully catches that chain. There is another trap in the housing figures. Not owning accommodation does not always mean renting privately. Someone may live with family, in social housing, or in residential care. That explains why different official counts can look inconsistent. One measure asks whether the person owns property. Another asks whether the household pays rent. They describe different doors into housing insecurity. The policy question is therefore larger than increasing one payment. It includes affordable rentals that remain secure as bodies and incomes change. It includes public housing, accessible homes, and support with unavoidable health costs. Most importantly, it includes the people who never fitted the golden assumption. They may have raised children, survived illness, separated, migrated, or lost work. Retirement does not erase that life history at 65. It freezes much of it into a weekly budget. The two bank accounts still receive their payment every Tuesday. That equality is worth protecting. But equality at the bank is only the beginning. In New Zealand, the quietest retirement benefit is the rent bill that never arrives.